So about 6 months back, I got this. Now this is the Sendak from Peg and Awl. And I can say with certainty that I have used this pretty much every single day since I've gotten it. So this is a 6-month review of the Sendak from Peg and Awl. Let's get into it. So the way I found out about the Sendaks was, of course, from Peter McKinnon. Shocker, right? But he made a video about his go-to writing utensils and stuff like that. I've always been a sucker when it comes to journaling and stationery and stuff like that, but I've always loved journaling. For some reason, my mind doesn't work when I'm taking notes on my phone or stuff like that. I need to be able to write things down. It was the same thing when I was in grade school. I would always take notes. I was known for taking the most amount of notes in my history classes because that's how I learned. I never had to study for tests because I would just take a bunch of notes. Granted, I was never good at school, so that's probably not a good example, but ever since then, I've always been a pen to paper type person. I always carry a Fields notebook. I always carry some sort of note writing utensil, and I can't use my phone because it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't correlate in my mind. And so when I heard about the Sendak, I immediately wanted to get my hands on one because 1, I love really awesome handmade products. 2, I knew that this would be something that I could keep with me wherever I go and be organized and have everything I need with me in one place. And that is exactly what this is. So in this video, I'm going to go through how I use this, what I fill it up with, and pretty much my overall thoughts on the Sendak from Peg and Awl. Gotta get that Cokie Z. Brantley, if you're watching, you need to send me the Cokie Z patch because I need that thing, dude. You know. Okay, so here we have the Sendak. Now, I chose to get the charcoal with the look to it, but I also love a good patinaed brown leather strap. So this is the one that I have, and as you can see, it is pretty well used. I feel like it is. So we're gonna go through this. I'm gonna show you what I have in it and give you my overall thoughts. So it's pretty simple. Unroll it. We're going to start with this little pocket here. Now I have a USB-C to USB-A cord in here, and I usually have a USB-C to USB-C as well because I always need to charge my phone or something like that. So that usually lives in here. The reason I don't have them both in there right now is because I actually used them earlier and my wife has not given them back, so I need them. I also have, I usually carry a lighter in here. I have a brass lighter that is also upstairs because my wife wanted to light a candle in the library, so that's why that's there. But then the last thing I have in this little pocket is this little straight edge from Big Idea Designs. It just comes in one of their little notebooks, and I've kept it in here because you never know when you need a ruler or a straight edge. So this thing just zoop. So in this little section right here, I have a actual big straight edge. Now I actually stole this from my wife, so don't tell her. But I use this a ton, especially when it comes to writing in my journal, and you'll see what I mean by that in a bit. So this is a must-have. And then next up we have a knife. Now, you guys know me, you know I always have a knife on me, but in the off chance that I don't have a knife, I have one with me, and I chose the Big Idea Design / Peter McKinnon Plays Pirate Life collab, which is the Overlook. And I just love this knife because it is super snappy and it's super small, so it fits perfectly in this little slot right here. And now we're gonna go on to the next slot, which is, of course, the Fields notebook. Now, I carry a Fields notebook with me literally every day. I just started this one, so it is pretty stinking fresh. I actually don't have anything written in this. I literally started it yesterday. But the thing I really like about Fields Notebook is, one, they come in a lot of cool colors and different series. So I have the National Park series right now. This is the Yellowstone one, which is fitting because I live very close to Yellowstone. And I keep this either in my Sendak or in my back pocket. So these get really beat up, and I love it because I just love the use of it. I love it when they look like they're being used, but this pretty much houses all my thoughts and all of my to-do lists and all that stuff, grocery list, whatever, what have you. And it's really simple. It's just grid paper, which I find is really nice, but I'm really not too picky about that. I really do like Fields notebooks, and I've gotten the habit, and now I can't get out of the habit because I need this wherever I go. So that's just how it happens. So I keep that in here or in my back pocket. Now we're gonna go through my pens. Now I have a lot of pens, I know. And you might be wondering why I carry all of these pens with me. It's because I like them, okay? It's because I like them. So we're gonna go left to right, and I'm gonna basically show you the pens that I have. So the first two pens I have are the Big Idea Designs mini click pens. Now you'll see a common recurring theme of Big Idea Designs in this video because I love Big Idea. They make some of the best pens, they make some of the best writing utensils, stuff like that, and I really love the guys over there, and I just love their products. So I have two versions. I have the Stonewash and I have the brass version of the mini click pens, and these are the ones that I keep with the Fields notebook in my back pocket or in here. If they're not in here, they're in my back pocket. And the reason why I keep these is because they are tiny. I mean, look at this. That is absolutely tiny, and it's perfect for keeping in the Fields notebook. And I actually changed the insert to a D1 fine tip insert because I like fine tip inserts. I find that I write better with them. That is just me though. I have terrible handwriting. So yeah, that's what I use when it comes to Fields notebooks. So I keep them right here. Now the next two pens are actually very special to me, and these are the two fountain pens that I use whenever I want to use a fountain pen. And the first one I'm going to show you is this one right here, which is the Big Idea Designs Everyday Fountain Pen. And this is the brass version. And this was one of the first real pens that I actually bought with my own money, and I have fallen in love with it. And this is actually the pen that I use to sign any really important document or stuff like that, because this is my signature pen. If I'm ever signing a photo or anything that requires a signature, I use this pen because it just flows so beautifully. The weight of it feels so luxurious. I absolutely love it. I have no complaints over this pen, and I would probably take this pen over a Mont Blanc just because of the sentimental value. Do I want a Mont Blanc? Yeah, I do, but I really like this pen, and this is a beautiful everyday carry fountain pen that has turned into something that I've loved for years and years and years. I've made videos on this pen, and I would highly recommend you use this pen. Now, next pen is actually a different variation of the pen that you just saw, but it is the Big Idea Designs Everyday Carry Fountain Pen / Jeremy Sires edition. If you guys don't know who Jeremy Sire is, check him out. He has some of the coolest videos on YouTube. When they released this pen, I had to have it because it looked beautiful. Now, the difference between this pen and the previous one is that this is actually a finer tip fountain pen. So I find this easier to write just normal everyday things with this pen. So that is why I also carry this, and that goes right there. The next pen I have is the Big Idea Designs Side Click Pen. This pen I think is absolutely beautiful. It is the titanium version, and it is just a stunning pen. I changed the insert to, what did I change this to? I believe I changed the insert to this to a fine tip as well. I think it is a 0.38 fine tip pen. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot. But this is such a fidgety pen. I mean, it's just so fun, and you know, it's a work of art. So I really like it. And then the last Big Idea Design pen in here is the Big Idea Design collaboration with Pete's Pirate Life, and this is their bolt action pen. This thing is just, I mean, it's so beautiful. It's so fiddly. I love the bolt action. It's black, kind of stone washed, and I did change the insert to this to a fine tip. I really like this pen, and if I want to write with something that has a little bit more flair, I'll use this one. But yeah, I just like having the options of having a couple different pens, so that's why I have them. And the next pen is probably one of my most used pen. This is the Uniball Signo DX .38, and it's the .38 that matters. I love this pen. I buy a box of these. I have one of these pretty much everywhere I go, and I actually have 2 slots for 2 of these. So I carry 2 of these with me every single day. Technically 3, because if you count the insert with the Pete Spire Life pen. So with the Pete Spire Life pen. But I absolutely love this pen. I think it is just so nice. It makes me feel like I can write nicer, which I think is a plus. And it's also very light, so it doesn't, you know, hurt your hand after a while. And yeah, you know, for someone who writes a ton, I have terrible handwriting, so I don't know what the deal is with that. So I don't know. So this slot and this slot actually house this pen right now. This, I don't know where this, oh, actually I do know, it's upstairs. The next pen I have is actually the newest pen I have to my collection, and it is probably one of my most used pens of the past maybe 2 weeks, but it is this TWSBI Eco Fine Tip fountain pen. I got it off Amazon. It was a recommendation from Peter McKinnon, and I actually really love it. It works really well, and this is, I think it was like $40, and it works better than most fountain pens that I've had the opportunity to use. So if you guys are interested in getting a really nice fine tip pen, check out the TWSBI Eco series. They also have other tips for you to use if you don't want to use a fine tip. So but I just really like this. I think it's a beautiful pen, and I think it works really well. So TWSBI. It's a really good pen. All right, next up, I do have this Sharpie gel pen .7. I just really like these. The reason I carry this though is mainly because most people that I know actually prefer this pen over any of the fine tips. So, or if someone needs a writing utensil, I'll give this to them. My wife loves this pen, so that is why I carry this pen. All right, next up, we have the red and green pens. Now, these are just .7 gel pens that are just red and green ink. And the reason why I have these is for my to-do list or tracking habits or stuff like that. It's really simple. Green means that I have completed the task. Red means that I have not. So that's really why I have these two. Other than that, I mean, if I'm journaling and I want to remember something, I'll write it in green or red, and that stands out. So that's a plus for these two. So, and the last one is, of course, a Sharpie. You need a Sharpie. You never know when these come in handy. Actually, it's a fine point Sharpie too. I never realized that. I mean, it's just a regular Sharpie, but you never know when this comes in handy. It comes in handy so much, so I keep a Sharpie in there. So yeah. In this little pocket right here, if I can get it, I have this little thing. Now this thing is a little holder for my that's upside down. Business cards. There you go. So I carry my business cards in this because that way that they don't get all wrinkled and just warped and stuff like that. And it's just a really simple, I think it's a faux leather case that I got off Amazon, but it just houses all the business cards that I want, and I can keep them in here so that whenever I give them to someone, they look nice, they look presentable, and then I can just whoop right in there. So it looks good. It's really simple. Okay, so from there, the last thing I have is, of course, the journal. Now, I decided this month or this time I was gonna go with the pink one, because why the heck not? And as you can see, I have a bunch of stickers on here. Usually what I like to do is I get a bunch of stickers from products and stuff like that, so I don't really know where to put them, so I just put them on the top of the journal that I have, and I like doing it. It kind of adds a little bit of uniqueness. I love journaling. I find a lot of peace and clarity through journaling, which is kind of interesting, but I found that I'm able to calm a lot of the commotion in my head when I'm able to write it down. And I also think that there's something really satisfying about being able to put a journal together and really, have a lot of cool things stuck into this. I don't just write in this. I'll tape things that have been given to me. I'll write, things on a typewriter and put that in there. My buddy Pete made me some stamps, and I stamped a whole page. And having a journal and kind of being this is pretty much my brain, just in a physical, tangible thing that I can use to sort things out. I can pretty much take everything that's in here and put it into here, and that way I can remember things, but also calm the storm in here, if that makes any sense. And as someone with OCD that struggles with keeping things in line and stuff like that, this has come in handy so well. So this journal, it's Luterum 1917. I don't know, that or Moleskines. I don't really care. It's really as simple as that. Going back to the Sendak, I will say when I first got this, it was very stiff. Now that is to be expected because it is wax canvas and it was a new product. So like most handmade high quality items, you need to take the time to break it in. And that's exactly what I did. I put the pens in here. The pens went in their place. I figured out the way that I wanted to lay this out. And now everything kind of just fits really buttery smooth. It has definitely aged really well. It hasn't been tarnished or anything like that. And I really do love the fact that, when there are times where I leave the journal out and I can flatten this a lot flatter, or there are times where I put the journal in and it's a little bit bulkier. But I think just having everything in a really secure package just like this, that's really simple, is a really cool thing. And I've gotten so many compliments when I'm in meetings and stuff like that and I take this out and I use it. A lot of people are kind of like, what the heck? Like I've been in meetings where people are using their iPad Pros or their Remarkable or stuff like that, and I just take out this with a notebook and a pen, and I always get looks, and most of the time people are like, that's pretty cool. But I think it's a really cool statement piece. And as for the actual materials, I've not seen anything break on this. The leather is doing really well. The canvas is absolutely beautiful. If I wanted to, I could apply, like a layer of wax to this. I don't think I need to right now. Maybe if I want to, but if anything, I want to see this patina even more. I want to see this grow with character and scratch more and get more use out of this. Now, I've taken this all over the world, actually. I've been to Ireland. I took this to Ireland with me, my honeymoon. I take this with me literally everywhere I go, every single day. This is a huge part of my everyday carry. I have my phone, my wallet, my knife, Sendak. It's a thing. It's part of me now, and I love it. And I think that it is a absolutely amazing thing to get yourself or to gift other people. So that is my 6-month review on the Sendak by Peg and Awl. Now, if you guys haven't heard of Peg and Awl, they're a really cool company. They make a lot of really cool things, and they make the Sendak in also different sizes. So if you guys want to check them out, hit the link in the description. It'll be the first one there. Check them out, give them some love, and they're just such a cool company. So check out what they have to offer. I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys did, please make sure to like the video, comment down below whether or not you would get this, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, take it one step at a time, and I'll see you all later. Peace.